And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk, where we talk all things Brevard College Tornado Athletics. And another exciting show on tap tonight. Football, women's soccer, and men's soccer will all be featured. But before we get going, I want to thank our sponsors of Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Really appreciate their generous support. Arby's, Brevard Orthopedics, BSN Sports, eGolf 4 to Brevard, Hampton Inn, Ingles, Jets Pizza, Pepsi, Triangle Stop, and Young Transportation. Thank you, sponsors of Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Well, want to catch you up this past week. A lot of action around Brevard College Tornado Athletics. First, cycling was at the Mountain Bike National Championships in Durango, Colorado. 5 individual national titles. 3 by Tyler Orschel in cross-country short track in the individual omnium, 1 by Tyler Clark, and 1 by Erica Leonard. So 5 individual national championships for the Tornadoes. 3rd place as a team nationally at the Mountain Bike National Championships. Congratulations to the Tornadoes. Volleyball, a 5-set win over LaGrange. Ashley Hoxett, 19 kills. Caitlin Presley with 13 kills, 13 assists, and 11 digs in a triple-double. Volleyball will have their senior day this Saturday coming up. Men's soccer, Brevard 1, LaGrange 0 in a critical win for the Tornadoes, which clinched a postseason berth. We'll be talking to Coach Eldana later in the show, as well as a couple of Tornado student athletes to talk more men's soccer. And women's soccer, a 4-1 win over Berea. They clinch a postseason berth, and they'll be playing a home USA South Conference tournament game tomorrow, 4 p.m. at Islamel Family Field when the Tornadoes take on Huntington. Tickets for this one are $6 for adults, $3 for faculty, staff, and students. However, the first 100 Brevard College students, faculty, and staff will receive free admission courtesy of Brevard College Student Life. So make sure you come on out to Islamel Family Field. That's tomorrow, 4 p.m., when the Tornadoes take on Huntington in a women's soccer tournament matchup. Football, the Tornadoes with another win here in the month of October, a 7-3 victory over Southern Virginia. Tornadoes now on a 4-game win streak, outscoring opponents 85-20 over that stretch. School record 9 sacks in this one, and many of those sacks courtesy of Stefan Kennedy, the Glendale, Arizona senior linebacker, and he was named USA South Conference Defensive Player of the Week for his performance. And also want to give a big shout out to head coach Bill Kyatt. He became the all-time winningest Brevard College football coach with the win this past Saturday as well. And with that, we're actually going to bring a member of Bill Kyatt's staff onto the show to really talk about this incredible defense that we've been seeing as of late. And happy to be joined now by Associate Head Coach and Football Defensive Coordinator Luke Jakes. Coach Jakes, thanks for joining the program.
Thanks for having me, Phil. Appreciate it.
Well, just a lights-out performance as of late. Over this 4-game win streak, have only allowed 20 points. Coach, this October, this win streak, what's been the key to this defensive success?
I think a lot of things. I think first and foremost, we have a really talented, front 7, and we kind of just let them go and play and get upfield and make a lot of plays. And our coaches do a really good job of coaching them up and giving them that freedom to kind of, do what's best for them. And then in the back end, those guys, had just been covering everything up and running to the football. And it's just kind of been a total, effort by everybody. And everybody's been working together, buying in, playing their role, and it's been a big team effort.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the numbers just really astonishing. Conference leader in points allowed, that's 15 points per game this season. Yards allowed, which is 226 total yards allowed per game. Rush yards allowed, just 79 rush yards allowed per game. Pass yards allowed, 148, and sacks. Just incredible numbers, leading the USA South Conference and also leading the country in sacks and tackles for loss, all of Division III. Unbelievable numbers, Coach. Can you talk about just, maybe inside these stats a little bit, just what it all means when we reel off these numbers?
Yeah, I mean, the 9 sack performance really helped. It's, we're pretty simple, believe it or not. We only have, I don't want to give too much away. Depends on who's listening, but we only have so many pressures, and we keep it simple in the back end, but, we like to disguise it a certain way. So, hopefully the, opposing quarterback doesn't know, what we're doing. But, we bring a lot of pressure, and we get after the quarterback, and we've been doing that's kind of been our philosophy for the last few years. And, we put a lot of pressure at certain points on, the back end or the D line or linebackers. It just depends week to week. But, we have a really good group of guys that, buy in and definitely team oriented, and they just play their role and do their job. And, there's no really secret to it. I just think we have, an older group that's been around and very experienced, and, we play to their strengths, and we keep it simple, and we like to pressure. So it's about as simple as it could get. And we just want our guys to play free and play fast and have fun. And, I tell our guys all the time, I tell them, I really enjoy watching them play. Whenever we play on Saturday, I just enjoy watching those guys perform. Even as a coach, I feel like I'm a fan. And so I just love the way they play, how hard they play, how fast they play. And, our staff does a really good job of getting these guys prepared and coaching them up and spending a lot of time, individually with every player and making sure that, we're doing what's best for them, but also what's best for the unit.
Now, these last 2 home games have not allowed a touchdown at Lamel Family Field. Just a field goal allowed versus Southern Virginia, a shutout of Maryville on homecoming, 38-3, the point differential over those last 2 games at home. Now that we have football on campus at Lamel Family Field, from you guys, from the defensive perception, and as far as keeping teams out of the end zone, is there a different vibe to it?
Yeah, definitely. I even had family in this weekend. They couldn't believe how loud it got at certain points on third down. I know even from our opponent's perspective, like Southern Virginia, when there was third and longs, especially towards late the game, they had some false starts. They had some botched snaps just because they couldn't hear, I believe, the snap count. So playing at home has been a huge advantage. I think another thing I was thinking about is I really appreciate how competitive, our group of guys are. They are extremely competitive, and they are extremely upset if they give up any points. And so that's really, kudos to them, just because they do everything and anything to be the best that they could be every play. And I think it comes from their competitive nature. And we're trying to teach them, as well as the coaches, to, kind of hone that in and make sure it's, channeled in a positive way. But it's something you can't teach. And I think this group of coaches and this group of kids just have this competitive nature where they just want to be the very best that they could be. And I think it's been showing, for the last few years with this group. And I think that's a big reason, if not the biggest reason, why we've been as good as we've been.
Yeah, a lot of success over the last few years, and a lot of success this past month, a current 4-game win streak, undefeated in the month of October. But one more matchup this month before we head to November, which is this game at Methodist this weekend. Coach, I'm sure as a staff, you've started preparing for Methodist already. What can NATO Nation expect out of this one?
Gosh, Methodist, very talented group. They've been arguably the best offense in the conference, for the last few years. They have a very good quarterback. I know Coach Kyatt talks about, how great their staff is and good guys. And I think, this defense is definitely up for a challenge. I believe that even the Averett quarterback in our last game, I think he's number 4 in the country for passing yards a game. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. And I know our guys are really going to look forward to it because, like I said, they have that competitive nature, and they just, anything in front of them, they want. And I think for this Saturday specifically, these guys just got to stick with what got them here. And so it's going to be a challenge, but I know our guys are going to be prepared, and I know our guys are going to be excited to play.
Coach, would like to talk a little bit about your personal journey as a coach, and getting to where you are here now at Brevard College. And you've certainly enjoyed a lot of success in this role as defensive coordinator and associate head coach. But talk about your path as a coaching career goes, and also just how gratifying it's been to be here at Brevard College.
Oh yeah, so I started coaching in 2013. I coached for the head coach I played for, Doug Mandowski, at Scottsdale Community College, where I played. And he let me kind of help with the DBs that year. It was a special year that year. We went 10-1. It was the best year in school history. So I was there for a few years. In between, I went to a Division II school in Oklahoma where I coached the defensive backs, which was really great. And then our last year here, at Scottsdale Community College, I met Coach Kyatt. He was like the offensive coordinator at Scottsdale Community College. And, it was funny because back then, I was the linebackers coach actually, and he was the running backs coach. And we used to go against each other in practice. And I just always admired him from afar, about how much his players played for him and how much they really loved him, to be honest with you. And, we just started a friendship. And, sure enough, I told him even before any of this stuff happened, I told him if he ever went anywhere, I'd love to be a part of his staff. And this was in the fall of 2016. And I know he ended up getting the Brevard head coaching job a few months later after we, built up that friendship and trust. And then he got the head job, and, he stuck to his word, and he brought me along and made me a coordinator right away. So he's always given me the opportunity. He's always given me the chance that I always wanted, because before that I was just a position coach. And honestly, all the gratitude goes to him, just because he's the only coach that gave me the opportunity to be a coordinator. And so, I've learned a lot. And so now I've been here for this is my 5th year, and it's been so gratifying and so much learning. So I've just learned things about myself, and I feel like I've gotten better, and I know we've had a lot of success, and it's just been a great ride. I just really appreciate that Bill gave me the opportunity, and I really appreciate that, the kids gave me an opportunity, and that we just been able to do what we've done, the past 5 years, and really create a championship program. I know he's, the all-time winningest coach, and he did it. Maybe this isn't the right thing to say, but politically, but I know he did it, in like a third of the time of, the old staff, and it just goes to show how good of a head coach and how good of a leader he is. And I just think our program is in a great place, and right now, and we're just learning a lot. So that's really just been my journey, is just doing what I love, which is coaching. I feel like it's definitely very dharmic for me, in the sense that I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do, and just getting the opportunities to do it. So I love that I have this platform to just do what I love to do. And so Brevard's definitely been that exemplified, because I've been a coordinator, which I've always wanted to be. And it's given me the opportunity and the freedom to do everything I ever wanted in a profession.
Outstanding, Coach. Well, you mentioned Coach Bill Kyatt becoming the all-time winningest coach here at Brevard College. Congratulations to you as well, and the entire staff. Every time I talk to Coach Kyatt, he mentions all of you, and just how valuable you are. So it's really the entire staff getting this kudo in so many ways, and I'm sure there's plenty more to come as the social media is starting to light up here as well. But stick with us, Coach. We're going to bring in a couple of your defensive stalwarts here onto the program and help you introduce these two to NATO Nation. We have with us Jeff Banning, linebacker, and also Wyatt Langford, defensive lineman. Coach Jakes, before we let you go, tell us a little more about these two.
Okay, so I actually recruited Jeff out of Florida. When I first called him, I was very impressed with his film. I know he was a super athletic guy, and I think when I first called him, I asked if his name was Geoff or if it was Jeff, and he definitely said it was Jeff. And I sparked up a relationship with him, and we got very lucky. We knew right away when he came here he was going to be something special because of how athletic he was and how much of a team player he was. And Jeff Banning is just a great player and a great human being, and he's really funny as well. So we love that Jeff is here. Wyatt Langford, our unsung hero. Wyatt Langford, even through the darkest of times, Wyatt Langford is going to be there for everybody and always going to be a positive influence, on this defense and on this staff. So I'm very proud of Wyatt Langford. He used to call me this summer and send me text messages about how much he was working out, and he's paid his dues, and now he's starting to reap those rewards. And so these two guys are just great human beings and great players, and we wouldn't be as good as we are without them.
Very good. Well, Coach Jakes, good luck this weekend at Methodist. Congratulations on all the success recently on the defensive end. I know there's plenty more to come. And thanks for joining us tonight on Tornado Talk.
Thanks for having me. And shout out to all our staff, Shane Nelson, Josh Romero, Nick Eubanks, John Burton, all those guys really do a tremendous job, and we wouldn't be as good as without them. So thank you, guys.
Very good. Coach Luke Jakes, defensive coordinator for the Tornadoes, and just incredible defensive numbers as of late. And these two, a big part of that, Wyatt Langford and Jeff Banning. Wyatt Langford, defensive lineman, the junior out of Shelby, North Carolina, Crest High School. Thanks for joining us on Tornado Talk, Wyatt.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
And also with us, Jeff Banning, the sophomore linebacker from Inverness, Florida, Citrus High School. Thanks for joining the show, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Jeff, let's start with you. What's been the success, the key to the success on the defensive end? You guys have just been lights out, especially during this win streak.
Well, besides the great scheme that we have like a lot of good players. Like we have rotational people that could probably start anywhere else in the country. We have rotational dudes that could probably play like at a bigger school, but they took on their role and we just embrace them.
Very good. Wyatt, anything to add to that?
No, not really. Jeff kind of said it all. We got a lot of good players on the team, a lot of athletes, a lot of ball players, and just the things that Coach Jakes and the whole defensive staff have put in for us. We roll with the flow.
Well, Wyatt named D3Football.com Team of the Week member a couple weeks ago after a big performance, 4 tackles for loss and a sack, along with a forced fumble and a fumble recovery in that one. These sack numbers and these tackle for loss numbers just keep on adding up. What's the secret for you guys, getting into the backfield so quick?
It's really a shout out to our defensive line coach, Coach Eubanks, and then our old defensive line coach, Coach Easter. He taught us a lot. It's just we put our head down, use what we've been taught, and we just starting to make a couple plays.
Yeah, no doubt, Jeff. I'm sure getting in the backfield is a priority, whether it's against the run or the pass. Jeff, anything to add as far as that pass rush or that idea of getting in the backfield against running plays?
Well, the D-line does a lot of dirty work for the linebackers. Me and the other linebacker, Toby and Jake, we get a lot of free run-throughs because of them. So a little shout-out to them.
Yeah, well said. Well, Jeff, you're out of Florida, Inverness, Florida, in that central Florida region. Tell us about your journey, how you found Brevard College or Brevard College found you.
Well, when I was a senior, I was supposed to go to Jacksonville University, and they shut down football. And at first, I wasn't going to play football no more. I was kind of over it. And then I looked at schools in North Carolina because I like the area and texted Coach Jakes. He called me, and here I am.
Wyatt Langford out of Shelby, North Carolina, so quite a bit closer than Jeff, not a far drive whatsoever. Crest High School. Tell us about how you found Brevard College.
Well, I'd always known about the area, being only an hour and a half away, and just I was reaching out to a bunch of colleges like Brevard, places like that, and I come up here on a visit, and I loved the coaching staff. I loved everything about Brevard, the views, just everything, and then I found my home up here.
And Jeff, now that you're part of this program and you've integrated yourself and you've become a Tornado, if you were talking to a high school junior or senior back home, who was thinking about college, what were the things you would tell him why, Brevard College is special and being a football student athlete here is it such a great experience?
The football team itself is really close. Like when I first got here, I was kind of worried. Like I don't know anybody here. Didn't talk to nobody over the summer. Got here, and the older kids make me feel like family. Like I got to know Langford within the first week, and we were real close. And a bunch of relationships blossomed from there. So I'd say just if they were coming here, I'd say just be open to meeting people. Don't be like locked up in your room. Go out, experience the campus, and meet people.
Yeah, and Wyatt, that family mentality, I'm sure you felt it as well here with the Tornadoes.
Oh yeah, it's my 3rd year here, and it's definitely been a family ever since day one. I come in with a bunch of people that's already graduated on that 2019 team, but ever since day one, you come up here, you don't know anybody really. You come up here, you start talking to people, and they just took me under their wing and showed me how to do things.
We talked to your coach about the home field advantage playing on campus and, the renovations to Islamel Family Field, football now on campus at Brevard College. It does make a difference, especially for guys like you on the defensive side, right, Wyatt?
Oh, yeah. It makes a lot of a difference. Freshman year we were at Brevard High School, and, that was a different atmosphere when we were there. And then in the spring when we got the new field, it actually felt like we were playing on like home turf. And, with just the fans, we have great fans. They come out and show support every Saturday. And it's different. It's amazing.
3rd down situations, sometimes even when the team's going for it on 4th down, Jeff, or, if you guys are trying to keep a team out of the end zone, preserve that shutout, having that crowd behind you and that drum line beating their drums makes a difference, correct?
Oh, yeah, especially because, like, a lot of kids here work out off campus. So, like, when we're at the gym, we're always talking to people from the community, not even people that go to Brevard, asking about, oh, how'd the game go? We're going to come to the next one. So it almost feels like back home in high school where, like, the whole community is behind you, behind the school.
Before I let you go, tell us a little more about off the field, in the classroom. Jeff, do you have your eye on something in terms of major and what you're studying?
Yeah, my dad's a big business guy, so I was trying to pursue a business major and then afterwards an MBA maybe.
Wyatt, same question for you. What are you working on in the classroom?
I'm actually a criminal justice major. I'm actually going to be in the academy in the spring, so I'll be going through that and then getting a job up here with hopefully Transylvania County.
Excellent. Before I let you go, I want to give you each the opportunity for some shout outs or thank yous. Anyone you might want to just give a hat nod to. Jeff, floor is yours.
I'm going to give a shout out to my parents and Coach Chop from back home.
Very good. Concise. Well done, Jeff. Wyatt?
I just want to give a shout out to my parents, really my whole family. They helped me through a lot of this, especially the recruiting process. And a couple of people, all my boys up here, the mob, Toby Naylor, Jared Isaac, Josh Whetstone, everybody in that group, and just everybody at Brevard.
Very good. Well, I know you two have team meetings to get off to. Preparation for LaGrange, or check that Methodist continues at Methodist this Saturday. Thanks again for making some time for us. We'll be tuning in on Saturday. Then we'll see you back here on Senior Day later this season on campus. But thanks again, Wyatt Langford and Jeff Bannon, for joining the show. Keep up the great defensive success.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Phil.
All right, there they go. Wyatt Langford and Jeff Banning. Appreciate them, along with defense coordinator Luke Jakes. And we're going to quickly shift gears now to talk some women's soccer. And exciting times around the women's soccer program, as joined now by head women's soccer coach Juan Mascaro. Coach, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me, Phil. Appreciate it.
Well, Coach, before we get into previewing what's going to happen tomorrow right here on campus, a 4-1 win over Berea on Saturday, when a lot was at stake, on that one, and you had to end the regular season on a high note. Yep. Big day. Can you tell NATO Nation how that one went down?
Yeah, it was a big day for us. We were, we're trying to accomplish a few things in that game. One of them was finishing our season. We have very clear and concise goals for the season, and it is goal number one is to have a winning season. Goal number two is to make the conference tournament. And with that win against Berea, we solidified our winning season, and then the regular season 9-6-3. And the game at Berea was important because it was going to give us home field advantage, and you know how important that is. So now we don't have to make the trip down to Montgomery, Alabama. They got to come to us. So that was really what was at stake at that game. Berea is a good opponent. We started playing. It took us about 10-15 minutes to get the hang of it, but then Olivia scored a very nice goal, and we played well from there on, and finished up the season, with a great win.
And getting to the back of the net 4 times, that's significant because much of the season, this was sort of, an Achilles heel type thing, just couldn't find that back of the net. And 4 goals on Saturday, outstanding.
4 goals on Saturday was really good. On Wednesday, when we played Johnson and Wales was a different story. We ended up winning 1-0, and I think we hit the post 8 times. So that was a good one too.
Well, playoff soccer tomorrow. This is Tuesday at 4 p.m. at Ives Lamel Family Field. The number 4 seed Brevard College taking on the 5 seed Huntington. So action right here at Ives Lamel Family Field. The promotions are already starting to try to pack the grandstands there and create a home field advantage.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the team's preparations heading into this one?
Yeah. I think, we had a good training session today. I think all the players understand the importance of the game. At this point it's live or die, so we want to keep going. We want to keep playing, those seniors and 5th-year seniors, super seniors want to keep playing. So that's what's at stake. At stake is for our season to keep going to Saturday. But we got to get through tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be a great soccer game. We lost to Huntington 1-0 in the regular season. And I think we know them pretty well. They know us well. And the players are ready to do what we need to do to come out with a win. Now,
Postseason's becoming a habit for Brevard College women's soccer. And, this is a bit of a roll we're on here as far as whether it's ECAC or, postseason action last spring. Can you talk about that as far as postseason experience and how valuable that is?
Yeah. And like I said at the beginning, we have clear goals when we start the season, and that's one of them, is have a winning season and make it to postseason play. I think it's important to consistently make it to the conference tournament. And it's important because, you get experience. I mean, the regular season is one thing because you always have the next game to fix things and to get ready for the next one. But now we don't. So now, as you know, we have a few players on the team that have been there. We've been on postseason 3 times out of the last 4 years, and we understand that it's a one and done, and we want to keep going. So they know what's at stake. And they understand, and I think they are ready to come out tomorrow and get us a win, so we can go and play Methodist on Saturday.
Now, Coach, it's been a little while since we had you on, and one thing that did happen since we saw you last was Senior Day. And it was a big 8-0 win over Agnes Scott. But do want to give a shout out to this senior class: Samantha Foster, Rebecca Garza, Alyssa Hetherington, Ashley Royster, Aaliyah Vaughn, and Emma White. Special group, correct, Coach?
Very special group. I mean, they've been with us for 4 years. They were the group that transitioned when we went finally got through Division 3, through the process of going Division 3, and they have been instrumental to our program, and they've been with us for 4 years, and you appreciate every time they go out there and they work really hard, and that's what we ask them. We ask them to work as hard as you can. I think that if you can step off the field knowing that you did everything you could, and that you really worked hard and put your heart and soul into it, and that's what those kids do, game in, game out, and practice in, practice out. So, we have nothing but great things to say about him, and we're going to miss him a lot.
Coach, before I let you go, I'd like you to put on your other hat. You're vice president, also CFO here at Brevard College. You've been around Brevard College for a long time. once the director of athletics as well. Today we had the BC Tornadoes Open, big fundraising, just a
great event.
Great day of celebrating tornado athletics and raising funds for these student athletes. Men's soccer makes the postseason. Football's on a roll. Volleyball's in contention for the postseason. All sorts of new buildings going up around Brevard College. Such an exciting time. Can you kind of encapsulate it all? Just where we're at with Brevard College athletics.
It is extremely exciting, and when we decided to make the move to Division III, that was the whole point, is to provide a great student athlete experience. And part of the experience is being successful and getting to postseason play and being able to compete for conference championships, being able to have the dream of going to an NCAA tournament. And I think this is something that, we thought about it as a leadership team, 5 years ago, and we decided to go through the process. And it was a little painful process, but now we see the fruits of all that, and you see all the teams being successful. Football, Coach Kyle won 25 games. That for us is big. It is, and you see all our teams, and that is such a great experience for our athletes. That is why we do what we do. We compete because we want to win, and we understand it's a game. You're going to lose some and you're going to win some. But hopefully you win more, and that is what provides the great experience for our student athletes, and we're proud to provide that. And I think Brevard College is on a high right now, like you said. And now we're starting the press box here in a couple of weeks. We're starting a new facilities building, so we just keep going. We keep growing with a very good strategic plan. We have a change in leadership with President Joyce retirement in December, and Dr. Andrews coming in January 1st. He's going to be a phenomenal president for us. We're very excited for him, and I think we're just going to keep growing, and we're going to keep delivering our mission, which is experiential learning and providing the student athletes with a great experience.
Well said. Thank you very much for that answer, Coach Mascaro. In one of those high points, tomorrow we'll be seeing the women's soccer team in action postseason yet again when the Tornadoes take on Huntington. That's 4 p.m. First 100 students, faculty, and staff will receive free admission, courtesy of Student Life. Make sure you head on out there early and get loud to cheer on these Tornadoes. Coach, any last words as far as NATO Nation goes and all your supporters, as far as this
I want to thank they are there for every game. It's fun to hear them out there and to see how they cheer for our team, and come on out and support us tomorrow. We're gonna need every voice out there to help us get the win. And thanks to you, Phil, and your staff for everything that you guys do and promote our athletes. Really appreciate that.
Our pleasure. Well, Coach, stick with us just a moment longer. We're going to bring in two of your student athletes who will be in action tomorrow in that big USA South Conference tournament game, as we've got Tay Brown and also Taylor Richardson in the house. Coach Mascaro, help us introduce these two to NATO Nation.
Absolutely. Tiandra Brown, they're both forwards. Tiandra Brown is a forward. She likes to play on the outside, go inside and score some goals and beat some people. Taylor is the same way, hardworking kid. She just goes out and never gives up and score goals and provides with assists. So we're excited for them, and we're excited for what's going to happen tomorrow.
Very good. Well, Coach Mascaro, we'll let you go. We can't wait to see you tomorrow at Islamel Family Field. Thanks again for joining the show.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it.
Very good. There he goes, head coach Juan Mascaro. Make sure you head on out to Islamel Family Field tomorrow. And these two student athletes, looking forward to this conversation. Taylor Richardson in the upper right corner, and Tay Brown here as well with us. Taylor, thanks for joining the program.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And Tay Brown, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Tay, we'll start with you. Big win over Berea this weekend, and there was a lot at stake, as Coach mentioned, home field advantage on the line, and you were able to get one of those 4 goals. Can you talk about your goal and then also just how sweet that victory felt?
Yes, it was a very sweet victory. all I had through my mind was I did not want to travel and I wanted to play in front of all the fans here. And I was like, I'm going to get me a goal and I'm not going to give up. So,
Very good. And Taylor, you got a goal as well. Can you kind of describe how that one went down?
Yeah, so Rebs actually assisted it. It was really cool. She kicked it all the way up the field, and I was just kind of there and just put it in. But Tay's goal, wow, beautiful, beautiful. It was great.
Okay, so let's break this down a little more, because I know you guys get humble and all that. So Taylor, tell us about Tay Brown, not only her goal on Saturday, but just what kind of player she is.
She's an amazing player. She always gives me such good balls in our team, and she contributes very well, and she gets the job done.
And Tay, return the favor. Tell us about Taylor.
Taylor is a hard-working player. She fights for every ball. She's very strong, and she's very smart with the ball, and she's just a very athletic player, and we work well on the field together. It's definitely a connection.
By the way, Tay, big extra points for this creativity on your screen name. I want to make sure everybody, acknowledges that. Awesome to see. Since you brought it up, tell us what it's like to be a Tornado and, how proud you are to be a Tornado.
It's hard to describe. I mean, I love being a Tornado since the day I came, and I just feel like this is home, and I can't see myself anywhere else, and just proud to be here, and that's about it.
And Taylor, now that you've integrated yourself within the women's soccer team and, becoming a veteran as time marches on, tell us what it's like to be a member of this team.
Well, I love being a member of this team. I mean, we work very well together, and we all are very determined. And we work so well together that it's just fun. Like, we just have such good chemistry.
And part of that is you've got a lot of great, we mentioned the word veteran, but veteran leadership. And the senior class was honored, a couple weeks ago. You also have a couple of super seniors, here for, an extra year of graduate school. Samantha Foster, Rebecca Garza, Alyssa Hetherington, Ashley Royster, Leah Vaughn, and Emma White. That senior class that was honored. Talk about them and also, those graduate students like Rebecca Rojas and Sally Riggin, and just how special it is to have that kind of leadership.
Yeah, I mean, we're really sad to see them all go just because they are a majority of our leaders, but they are giving us lots of direction now, and I think we'll be able to take that and take it into our own hands, but we will definitely miss them for sure.
Pretty cool to have that kind of senior class paving the way for you, right, Tay?
Yes, they are leaders on and off the field. They're great. They keep it live in the locker room and on the field, and they just give great feedback, and they're going to be missed, definitely.
Taylor, the sophomore forward out of Seminole, Florida, Seminole High School. Tell us about your upbringing as a soccer player and also how you ultimately found Brevard College.
So Chelsea was at a tournament down in Florida, the Disney Showcase, and she actually reached out to me and emailed me, and I kind of did some digging and looked into the school, and I wasn't sure at first because I didn't want to be so far away from my family. But then I've just fallen in love with this campus, like the seasons, just so many different things to experience. And I've had such a great time. I'm very happy.
And Tay Brown, the sophomore forward from Mooresville, North Carolina, as the social media kudos continue to come in and well wishes. Good luck tomorrow, ladies. Can't wait to see y'all advance at home, says Athletic Director Miranda Nash. And also my number 17 with the heart emoji. Tay Brown, sophomore out of Mooresville, North Carolina, South Iredell High School. Tell us about your journey.
My journey was kind of rocky. I had a couple offers from different schools, and I got an offer from Brevard. And one day I took a trip here to visit, and me and Coach Vaughn sat in the office and talked for hours late at night And it was just a great conversation. And I was like, there's no way I can turn them down now. And I was just like thinking on the way home, I think this is where I need to be and have to be.
Well, the social media feeds continue to populate, cheering on you two. So tomorrow, this big game, postseason action at Islamel Family Field. Tell us about that. Just how important it is for you all to play in a game of this magnitude, but also, as far as the fans go, how important it is that they show up and cheer you on. It feels good to have them behind your back, correct, Taylor?
Yes, correct. They give a great energy, and I mean, we all just need to come in tomorrow with the right mentality, and I think we will be solid.
Tay, tell us more about what we can expect tomorrow.
Just a great game, a battle we're going to fight hard for, and we're not losing. I know we're not. And just the fans make it better. Like, can't wait to see my mom and just see all the fans. They bring life to the game, and it just makes you want to keep going and work hard.
Well, reminder once again, folks, if you're coming out to the game, $6 admission for adults, $3 for faculty, staff, and students. However, the first 100 students, faculty, and staff will receive free admission. So that's courtesy of Student Life. Be sure to get out there early and cheer loud for these student athletes. Before we let you go, just a couple more. Taylor, tell us about your studies. Have you chosen a major, and what are you working on in the classroom?
Yes, so I actually chose health science, and I originally wanted to become an orthodontist with it, but I don't know if I can do that many years of school. We're going to see, but I was also looking at ultrasound as well, so we'll see how things go.
Very good. Tay Brown, same question for you. Tell us what you're up to in the classroom.
A lot, definitely. So I'm a criminal justice major with a minor in psychology, hoping to become a forensic psychologist and go to grad school eventually.
Very good. Well, want to thank you both for coming on the show. But before I let you go, I want to give you each the opportunity to say thank you to anyone who may have helped you along the way, anyone who might be tuning in. Shout outs, thank yous. The floor is yours, Tay Brown.
Start off with my mom, who commented. She's my number one supporter, and I thank her for everything, all the soccer games she's traveling me to. My coaches back at home, Miracle, and my aunts, families, and friends, and just everyone.
Very good. And Taylor Richardson, same opportunity for you. Shout outs or thank yous?
Yes, I would like to thank my family, my friends, and especially my teammates. But I couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you.
Deandra Brown, Taylor Richardson, they will both be in action tomorrow, 4 p.m. at Islamel Family Field versus Huntington, USA South Conference Tournament action. Be sure to come on out to Islamel Family Field and cheer on these two ladies and the entire Tornado squad. Ladies, thanks for joining the program. Great job on Tornado Talk.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Very good. And there they go. And we're going to shift gears quickly from women's soccer to another team that has qualified for the postseason, the Brevard College men's soccer team, as we bring in head coach El Dana. Coach Dana, thanks for joining the show.
Hey, Phil, how are you?
Excellent, especially when both soccer teams have made the USA South Conference tournament. Coach, you guys had a critical game on the road at LaGrange this weekend. You had to basically win this one to get in, all sorts of movement in those standings. But, the Tornadoes able to get the win. Before we get started on what's next, tell us about that victory at LaGrange.
Yeah, I mean, you once you get to the game already knowing that you made, but at the same time, I told the players, what's the difference? It's already playoff, so our mindset was that we got a look at playoff before anybody else, of course, so did LaGrange. And it was a great game. It was a tense game, and we, as always, created a lot, and it's being the the signature of the season this year. But at the end of the day, we put the one that mattered in the back of the net. It was a beautiful goal, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah, and Coach, a big part of not only that win, but the success all season long has been on the defensive end and in the net. And we're going to have Tiago Leopardi, one of your goalkeepers, on a little later. But, the Tornadoes 7 shutouts in 15 matches this year, holding opponents to, a USA South Conference best 0.89 goals per game average. Just tremendous work on the defensive end.
Yeah, and you in soccer have such a slim margin of error that if you have a good defense, a solid back four, back whatever the formation you play, a solid keeper, solid commitment from everybody else, because it's not only the defenders, right? You give yourself a chance. And if you, on top of it, can put the quality that we have and the opportunity that we always create on every game, you're definitely going to give yourself a chance. Are we going to win all of them? It's impossible. But, if you told me before the season I was going to pass through and only lose 3 games out of 15, I'd say I'd be happy.
Coach, we're still waiting to see exactly what's going to shake out in terms of
I'm
Saturday.
watching right now here on my left. I have dual screen.
Could you give us a real-time update?
Absolutely. So 2 minutes to go in the Covenant Piedmont game, and it's 4-1. So it's pretty safe to say that we finished third and that we're going to be playing at North Carolina Wesleyan next Saturday. Very
good. That being said, can you tell us about what's ahead in terms of the week of preparation for the Tornadoes?
Absolutely. So this time of the year, you start kind of you don't need to change a whole lot. You just want to have good, solid practices every day, but you also have to work on penalty kicks because, as you know, those come to play in the playoffs. Last year, that's what happened. We will start now. I was already actually scouting both the possibilities because at the end of the day, knowing that we were going to go away no matter what, we were either going to play first North Carolina Wesleyan and then flip and play the winner of the other game that could involve William Peace or the other way around. So I went ahead and scouted both teams. So now that we know for sure who that is, starting tomorrow, we start also working on the scout report and on the things specifically that we got to do player by player and formation and tactics and that kind of stuff.
Very good. And, the team not only qualified last year for the tournament, but, won that West Division championship. It was an unusual year, the spring, but, certainly a big experience and a championship to boot. And then, prior to that, trip to ECAC action. How valuable is that, especially to the players that have been around a little while, that, you have that postseason experience on your resume?
Absolutely. I mean, when you experience whatever comes after, being national tournament or postseason, you taste it once, you want to get it again. And besides that, by the time you made it once, you know what it takes because it's extremely difficult, especially in this conference. This conference is so tight, as you mentioned, up to the last game. There were so many possibilities, including one game before we could be everywhere between first and not make the tournament. So having gone through these things, it just gives you that focus and that it's really attention to detail. This is a very, very unforgiving sport that one breakdown, one lack of concentration, and there goes your entire season. So we learned little things from the past couple of years that I'll give you an example. Last game, we were winning 1-0 and there's only 2-3 minutes to go. Well, we have lost games in the last 2-3 minutes, so we manage that clock so much better. We like to kind of joke that the last 2-3 minutes in a playoff game and you're winning, you're going to puncture the ball. The ball is going to be flat, nobody can play, and that's what we did. We managed the game and took it home. So these are the little things that will come handy now.
Very good. Well, Coach, since we saw you last, a senior day presentation went down back on October the 16th. And do want to shout out this senior class: Antonio Ferreira, David Garrett, Jack Pruz, Greg Sellers, Jose Vela, and Juan Martin Icaza. Outstanding group of senior student athletes you have there, Coach.
Yeah, and that day we were in the locker room having a pregame talk, and we said, you need to aspire to do exactly what these guys did, which is leave the place better than they found. And these guys can definitely claim that. Not only that, but look at the past 3 years, what they've done. So really, we want to build on top of what has happened in the past, build on top of the foundation, and these guys have left a great foundation for us to do.
Coach, I also want to mention the reserves program. And, typically, NATO Nation gets to hear from Coach Juan Mascaro Jr. as well. He heads up the reserves program. They're at Montreat at the moment, playing in a match. And then on Thursday, right here at Brevard College, Islamel Family Field, we'll be bringing you the action on YouTube for this one, the reserves team with their season finale versus Mars Hill at 7 p.m. I hope you can come out to that one. These folks, might not get all the headlines and this kind of thing, but they help in the overall scheme of things when it comes to this men's soccer program, and certainly a part of the success that the first team, the varsity team, is experiencing.
Absolutely. I mean, from every perspective, not only because the player developments, right? I mean, some of these seniors you mentioned started their careers or at some point found themselves suiting up with the reserves. So that player preparation matters. The support, I mean, you get an extra team that will be out there pulling for you. And last year we had the ring ceremony. How many of the reserves went ahead and purchased the rings because they felt rightfully so that they were part of it. But it's that whole atmosphere. It's that whole positivity, bringing positivity, and it's playing time, right? At the end of the day, these guys want to play. So everybody gets an opportunity to, if they're not getting enough minutes in one side or the other, or actually, if they're not getting enough minutes with the first team, they're able to get minutes with the reserves. So I think it brings a lot of good things to the overall program.
Well said. Very good, Coach. Before we let you go, another postseason berth for the men's soccer team. Best of luck this week, but want to give you the opportunity to thank anyone, who you feel like, might not be noticed necessarily, but was a part of the success, and just an overall message to NATO Nation as far as this successful year yet again for men's soccer.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad that our coaching staff is not here tonight, but obviously those guys, Junior and Mario, our athletic trainer, it was a late addition to the program, Noah, but the whole athletic training department, they do a great job for us. You guys should never take for granted what you guys do, on the scheme of recruiting and for the parents, for the sakes of the people that cannot always come and watch the games. I think we got the best broadcasting in the conference, if not in the whole area here. Our administration, there's no way anybody, any program can be successful if an AD and the associate ADs are not behind you, and that's the truth. And our president, of course, we have a school that understands the value and places value into athletics and in the overall scheme of the education of these young men, and they believe what you're doing, and they support you, and they give you what it takes, to be successful. Because look at everything that we have in our hands. So, and trust me, I'm missing many other people, but there's a lot of people behind the scene that deserve as much praise as anybody else.
Well, Coach, best of luck this weekend as you take on the USA South Conference in tournament play. Yet again, congrats on making the postseason. And stick with us just a moment longer. We're going to bring in a couple of your student athletes as we make the transition here, bringing into the program, bottom right corner, Tiago Leopardi, the sophomore goalkeeper from Brazil, and then the super senior Adam Spencer out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Coach Eldana, before we let you go, let NATO Nation know a little more about these two.
Yeah, we'll start with a newcomer. We have one finishing and one starting their careers, but Tiago is a goalkeeper, as you mentioned, and that's a tough position. I'm sure Adam has made many mistakes in his career, but those don't show. Goalkeepers are always under pressure, under the microscope, because it's ultimate products right there to avoid the other team from scoring. And he does a great job with it. He mentioned that he's got great stats in the conference. Adam is just, you say super senior. He's going too early. We want to keep him another 4 years, but a pleasure to work with, a leader on and off the field, a person of excellence. That's how it is, So it's nice when people that have not only talents but have the work ethic and the just the positivity that this guy brings to the program. It's nice when they get rewarded on top of all of that with, man, he's one of the top players in the conference, and hopefully he'll be recognized this week. But two great representatives of the program.
Very good. Well said, Coach. Good luck this weekend. Do we have a final update in real time, Coach, for us here?
Game over, final score 4-1. So all set. We're third seed, playing North Carolina Wesleyan this coming Saturday.
Very good. Well, we really appreciate you helping us with that information as well during the show. Awesome stuff. Coach, good luck this week. We'll talk soon, I'm sure. Best of luck. Congrats again on making the postseason.
Thank you.
All right, there he goes, Coach L. Dana. And joined now by Tiago Leopardi and Adam Spencer. Tiago, let's start with you. Big win over the weekend at LaGrange. A lot was at stake, as the teams are jockeying for conference position. Tell us how that occurred. You guys got the shutout. You got the 1-0 victory. It had to feel great.
Thanks for having me, first of all, Phil. And yeah, it was a tough game, a lot of pressure going on, but I think we handled it out really well. We scored a goal that was needed, nothing too much, just 1-0, and made us to playoffs. That was the important thing. So I think we managed to a great job, and we did what was supposed to do.
And Adam Spencer, a familiar name and face to NATO Nation. Adam, you've been through a lot of these, men's soccer roller coasters with the Brevard College Tornadoes, but boy, the Tornadoes came up big on Saturday when it mattered most.
Yeah, no kidding. We really needed that. We went into the game with the mindset that we were playing a playoff game, and I think that's all we needed. With us, with our backs against the wall, there's no team that's going to beat us, to be honest. And we knew that we had to make it happen. And shout out to Wendell Lima with the banger with his left foot. And then we saw the game. That's all it took.
Yeah, no doubt. And, third straight year that the Tornadoes have appeared in postseason, a 2019 trip to the ECAC championships. And then last year winning the West Division championship in just a thriller at Covenant that went all the way down to PKs. Adam, let's stick with you. As far as this postseason appearance, this will be your third straight trip. It's got to make a difference, right? As far as giving you guys confidence heading into this kind of postseason play when, everybody's nerves are ratcheted up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The nerves, they get less and less as the years go on, as I play more seasons, but there's nothing like playing in a tournament game. The stakes are so high, and that everything you have to do, has to be with a purpose. There's no room for really silly mistakes. So all we have to do is keep our heads focused. And if everyone can do that collectively, we're going to beat any team.
Yeah. And Tiago, I know you guys are already starting to prepare both mentally, but also, through practice, for the game this weekend. How important is preparation in practice for a game like this?
In my opinion, it's already started since the beginning of the season, because for me, I came here to be in the champion, fight for good things. And I think for now, we made for sure to the playoffs, we switched the key. So now our minds needs to be ready. We needs to be fighting for good things, for greater things. And we're fighting for the fourth position, but for me, we could be first, in the first of the classification. But it's fine, we made it, and now we need to be ready since now.
And Tiago, let's stick with you. The sophomore from Brazil. Highly international roster. Players from all over the world, including several Brazilians. How does it feel to be at a place like Brevard College? The middle of the mountains of Western North Carolina, but with this international flair happening around campus and on the soccer field.
It feels like home because I can get out of my room. I already live with like 3 more Brazilians. And like I go to the caf, I see more Brazilians. I go to class, I see more Brazilians. Like I feel like home. It feels good to learn another language, but I still with my roots, and that's amazing.
Tiago mentioned home several times, and Adam, I know this place, this town, this college, this, part of the country feels like home for you. You and I have talked endlessly. It seems like, just how special Brevard College is. Can you tell our audience, now that you've, sort of reached, this point of your career, just how special this place is?
I mean, nothing can beat it. I've fell in love with this place. I mean, I've practically been living here since 2019. I've stayed over the summer. Every season I've lived here, and I've gotten a great job to work in downtown. And, it's different when it's the summer and like you're the only person on campus. Like the campus doesn't have the right feel without the people there. And the people that go here are just amazing. All my teammates, all of my friends. It's just, if you're looking for a good school to go to and a good environment, come to Brevard College because it's amazing.
Adam, tell us a little more about you as far as this extra season of eligibility, but in terms of your degree and what's next.
Ooh, what's next? Well, first and foremost, I came back to finish my math minor plus the extra season, of course. But yeah, I got a position as a hall director at this school at the South Villages, so I'll be living here for the next semester, potentially for the next year as well. We'll have to see about that come next fall. But yeah, that's the plan. So, I mean, I've been taking everything, like every single practice that I go to, I've just been in love because I'm in the position that a lot of players in the past haven't been able to be in. I'm getting my 5th season. I mean, this shouldn't be, I feel like I shouldn't have this opportunity, but I'm just making the most out of what I have now, and I'm loving it, every second of it.
Adam, on behalf of the athletic department, Coach Eldana mentioned it. I want to thank you and Scott Douglas as well for, the commentary during men's and women's soccer. Coach Dana called it, the best in the conference, as far as, the product we provide. So thank you for that. Has it been a fun experience, been able to call these women's games?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's probably my most fun job that I have. It doesn't feel like work at all. I mean, if I can keep doing that after I graduate, that's what I want to do. As of right now, it's really fun.
Awesome. Well, much appreciated. Tiago, tell us about your studies. Have you got your major set here at Brevard College?
Yeah, I'm gonna major in business. I'm gonna do minor exercise science. I'm not sure which one I want to do my master, so I can like get deep in the studies. But we'll see. It's kind of soon to know, but different to Adam. But I think I'll get sorted out like in the future.
Very good. Before we let you go, I want to give you each the opportunity for any shout outs or thank yous, anyone that may have helped you along the way. Tiago, the floor is yours. Shout outs or thank yous?
Yeah, I want to thank all my family for the opportunity to let me be here, to all my friends, my teammates, to help me a lot in practice games. And that's it. Thank you for having me, Phil.
Oh, our pleasure. Adam, the floor is yours.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my family, my mom, my grandma, my brother, my dad. They always tune in to watch my games and support me. I like to shout out to Coach Rick because he's the first coach that really inspired me to keep playing soccer. I like to shout out Tommy, Brandon from back home, all my friends and teammates here, and I'd like to shout out Alyssa Etherington.
Very good. Well, best of luck to you two as you head on the road for conference play. we'll be watching every step of the way. And congratulations on another postseason berth, third year in a row. Tiago Leopardi and Adam Spencer. Thanks for joining the show. Great job tonight, fellas.
Thanks so much, Phil.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right, there they go. So men's soccer will be on the road this weekend in postseason action. They qualify for the USA South Conference tournament at NC Wesleyan on Saturday at 2 p.m. We'll be sure to bring you as many updates as we can on Brevard College Tornado social media. You can find all those handles on the ticker below. Also, women's soccer in action tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 p.m. at Isla Family Field. USA South Conference first round matchup versus Huntington. Be sure to come on out for that one. Reserves men's soccer will be in action on Thursday at 7 p.m. at Isla Family Field. If you're not able to make that one in person, we will be broadcasting Reserves men's soccer Thursday, 7 p.m. And then volleyball on Saturday, matches at noon and 4 p.m. Noon versus Wesleyan, 4 p.m. versus Covenant, and it's also Senior Day at the Bosch. So be sure to check that one out. That's this Saturday at the Bosch. We'll also be bringing you that on this YouTube channel. Best of luck to the cross-country team. They head to the USA South Conference Championships this Saturday in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Been preparing for that all season long. So best of luck to Coach Daryl Patrick and that group. And then best of luck to the football team who looks to continue their winning ways. We talked to defensive coordinator Luke Jakes earlier in the show. This team's on a roll, 4 straight victories. See if they can continue that this weekend at Methodist. Well, thank you to all of our guests, defensive coordinator Luke Jakes, football student athletes Jeff Banning and Wyatt Langford, head women's soccer coach Juan Mascaro, women's soccer student athletes Tay Brown and Taylor Richardson, men's soccer head coach El Dana, and student athletes Tiago Leopardi and Adam Spencer from the men's soccer team. And thank you, NATO Nation, for continuing to support Brevard College Tornado Athletics. We'll see you at a future game or at the next edition of Tornado Talk next Monday night, 7 p.m. Thanks for joining the show. Go Tornadoes.